Hi everyone. Shams,
Right.
we can start now. I think
All
there was
right.
some technical problem due to which Subhash is unable to join. So I
No
think all the
worries.
panelists now join, so we can start it.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for Sakir for the overall facilitation for this event. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon to India. It is pleasure to have all of you on board today, and I hope we will have a wonderful event today. Now, just to begin with, let's have a quick round of introduction with starting with Mr. Hassan.
Yes, good morning, guys, or good afternoon, new time. This is Hassan here, Hassan Muhi. I'm heading the information security and business continuity practice for Kuwait Finance House Bahrain. I've been in this field for almost 18 years, which have more than 12 years in cybersecurity. I hope I will be sharing some of the experience and knowledge that I've gained over the years with the help of my friends and colleagues here with you guys, and you are welcome to ask any questions that you want.
Thank you, Hassan. Over to you, Mr. Subhash.
Uh, Firstly, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for inviting me here today. And I am honored to have opportunity to extend thanks to Shams Khan, Hassan Mui, Saqib Anjum, and esteemed audience, definitely. My name is Subhashan, and I currently hold the position of CISO at ICRA ISRI. With the nearly 3 decades of experience in IT industry, I consider myself perpetual student still in this evolving field. And today I am eager to engage in a fruitful exchange of experience with all of you.
Thank you. Over to you, Sakib.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone, and warm welcome to our speakers and panelists, especially Shams, Mohi, and Subhash. And thank you for all attendees to join us. My name is Saqib Ansari, and I'm a cybersecurity practitioner since last 10 years. Half of my career is in SOC, especially as a subject matter expert and solution architect in SOC as a delivery as a governance. So today we will discuss how we can overcome the noise which have been created because of the multiple solution in a SOC. Okay, so I think it's over to you, Shams. We can.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for a quick round of introduction. I'll just introduce myself as well before we begin with the session. I'm Shams Khan, working with Grant Thornton in Bahrain in the technology advisory practice. I have around 13 plus years of experience into IT risk management, cybersecurity, business continuity, and audits. Thank you, everyone. Now, to talk about the session. Now, we have all seen that there has been a growing trend of cybersecurity implications, organization facing multiple emerging cybersecurity risks and threats. Now, here we have come today to discuss about the cybersecurity solutions which the organizations are trying to implement. And there is a certain surge of cybersecurity tools to be implemented, be it a regulatory driven requirement, be it a requirement from a financial standpoint to secure their assets, or be there be a requirement to just get into the race to see and to match up that, okay, if certain organization is implementing, let's say have this product as in place. Now we'll just open up this forum for all the panelists, and we'll try to hear from them that what are the challenges normally do they see then when they try to bring a cybersecurity product and try to implementation. How do they manage with their different operational work, and how do they see that, okay, the teams are busy, how do they manage to implement that, and what challenges do they see, and what do they hear from their team backend teams that when they are trying to implement the cybersecurity product. So we'd like to hear from Mr. Hassan, Subhash, and Saqib as well.
Sure.
Yes, thank you, Shams. I don't know, you who want to start? You can go, Saqib.
Yes, Hassan. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can start. Okay.
All right, no
Okay.
problem. We can start. I will add to what you have said.
Right. So, Saqib, we would like to hear from you, considering that you have
Sure.
been, yes, you are in
Sure.
this
Next slide.
vendor-driven market, and what sort of demands do you see normally, and do you see that if the projects are, when they are starting off, do they end in time? Normally, because do you hear back from the organization saying that, okay, our operational teams are busy, can you hold back, can we increase the project timeline? So that kinds of over increases the overhead on you also, because you have multiple projects to close, right? And
Right.
from Hassan, we would like to also hear from you that you would also have a lot of cybersecurity projects in the pipeline, considering you would have a strategy to implement. But however, you would see that your teams are busy in the operational day-to-day task, but this kind of builds up a time increases the timeline for the project implementation. So people are overwhelmed with the implementation of the cybersecurity products, and then how to come together to build a kind of a collaborative approach that, okay, this product should talk to each other. That integration and that transformation that you really have to work towards on. So let's hear it
Right.
from you one by one.
Yeah. So, Shams, you have rightly mentioned, like, it's been a decade, like, the big players. I will take an example in BFSI, the banks, who is already having well defined SOC. But the problem is they have a multiple solution right now, because earlier there was a story, like, you organization might have the antivirus, IPS, IDS, and there would be a centralized SIM solution in a SOC. But right now there are multiple solutions are there, because of the diversity of the industries. Okay, if I will stick to BFSI, so now in BFSI, the EDR, XDR, every vendor will comes along with new strategies of the XDR platform, so which create a lots of noise. And because of that, the team, okay, because I have seen the organization has been invested a lot significant amount of money to build a SOC, but there is no process and technology. Technology is there, but process and people is not there. Okay, so sometimes they have transfer their risk to third party vendor, but again they have lack of skills. Because of that, they are not getting the value out of it. There is a general practice they are following: frequently audit. Yes, that was uh, very important. But again, because of the lots of solution, and now the trend is jack of all trade. Okay, the organization is expecting from a single spock or single person who is managing the multiple technologies, and they will take care all the solution, and they will maintain and manage everything. So that's the main problem, I believe. And because of that, they are not taking the value out of that. Okay, so
I think,
uh,
thank
this
you.
is my,
I
yeah.
think, Hassan, I think you have a point here, I believe, and I could see a
Yes,
certain
yes.
nod there. Yes.
So basically, what you have mentioned already built an answer in my head that I want to share with you. Now, you immediately jumped into the technical solution here, which is
Okay,
exactly the problem with most companies, most organizations, regardless of the industry, whether it's
agree.
financial or not. Now, usually as a CISO or anyone who is in command in a bank or in a big company, you should always ask the following. You should ask what? What are you expected to do? Then you should ask why you are expected to do this. Then you ask when you are expected to finish this project. And finally, how you are expected to do this. Now, if I answer all these questions, what, when, how, and why I'm doing what I'm doing, this will get us back to the strategies and why those strategies are in place in the first place, why we created them. It could be a regulatory requirement, it could be an international standard or framework that you are willing to adhere to or you are willing to implement. But let's say it's a regulatory requirement. If it's a regulatory requirement, you should always list your what expected to be implemented, and ask when you are expected to finish those implementation requirements or controls. Then you get to the details of how, when you will finish them, how you will implement them. Then you choose the solution that will fulfill these requirements. Now, you said many cybersecurity solutions for SOC or for endpoint detection and response, extended detection and response, etc., IPS, IDS. All of these solutions, if you go and ask any technical security engineer or IT operation specialist, you ask him what you do, he will say, I'm managing the antivirus, I'm managing the information security tools in the company. If you ask him why, he doesn't know why. If you ask him what are the priorities between these tools, he will say, I don't know. My manager
Yeah.
asked me to implement this tool.
Yeah.
Or they bought this tool and they said implement it and you need to finish this week or next week.
Right.
Okay, if you ask him how many projects are you running, he will say I'm running a bunch of projects. What are the priorities? Which one should be implemented first? He doesn't know. They don't know. The technical team doesn't know this. This should come from the top management. They should communicate the message right through the use of strategies, objectives, goals, then dividing these goals into sub projects and finish one by one in the pipeline. I don't want to take more time into this answer. The final thing that I want to add here, on top of all of these issues that we have mentioned, you have the same management in the organization asking the same team members to implement other business projects that are expected to add value or generate cash flow for the organization. Now, without actually distinguishing between the priorities and the importance of each type of project, people will not know which project is related to compliance or regulatory requirement and which project is required to create or generate more business for the company. This is also important. I hope this adds value, and let's hear from
Mr. Subhash, yes, we would like.
Subhash.
Thank you, Hassan.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
insightful points that you spoke. Right. Let's hear it, Mr. Subhash.
Yes, I think Anjum has said all the pain area, and really any organization is facing that much penalty of security device. And Moise well corrected said that every organization have their own mandate and limited resources and limited. There must be outcomes for that. It is not a way that everybody come to you and just buy this and grab the earlier technology and it can do all the things. So, there is a one thing I think we should know about that beyond the technology, we must understand what is our organization vision and to you can say sell out or deliver your mandate through delivery services, whatever it may be. Everybody know that we have transformed our legacy business in transformation and digital transformation. And digital transformation itself attract the security and over burden of security tools. It is not a mandatory requirement for any business because it is add-on. It is add-on. If I say I implement a device, a technology, and it can serve my mandate, then why should I go for that another tool and layer of security? But nowadays it cannot do yourself because we are in a collaboration. There is a client, there is a technology provider, and there is a means your other stakeholders are there. Everybody is playing their own role. Technology provider providing their new technology and threat mitigations tools. But yes, we are facing the issue to overburden on the security devices because there are limitations of human resources, and moreover, them there is a particular skill set for them. If any new technology is coming, you have to deploy the new resources for them, and you have to train for that. And again, you will go to your management that there is a new security threat and we have to gap with these tools and technology and we need more money and resources also. I think nowadays we are seeing that technology should be for human people, but people should not be for technology. But nowadays we are managing the technology or the technology beyond the human resources. I think in a lighter side, there must be HR instead of HR, digital HR is going to be created there.
Bro, I think just to sum it up before we move to the next section of this event. So we've heard from Saqib, we've heard from Hassan and Subhash. Just to sum up what we've understood is that there is a kind of a certain urge from multiple companies to implement a cybersecurity product. But however, they are not trying to identify if there is the resources are available internally within the organization. Are they actually trained? Are they ready for that implementation? And is the management also being, there's a kind of a commitment from the management showing that, okay, you're bringing in a product, but do you have the right set of skill set? Do you have the level of competency within your organization to implement that? And how would this, how would will fit in the overall, and enterprise environment? When you bring a cybersecurity product, will it fill in the gap, or will it actually create more issues? Will it create more noise rather than bringing it for a purpose or a certain objective for it? From a closing note from Mr. Hassan on this particular topic, and Subhash and Saqib, would quickly like to hear it, and then we'll move to the next topic of the event.
Yeah. So
Hassan? Saqib, yes.
Yeah. So you have rightly said, because right now the organization, especially in India, they have already have a SOC. Those don't have the processes in place. Okay, there would be a process should be in place. It start from job description of the employees, or the SOC members who is gonna be hire for a SOC. Okay, so its journey would be start from there, job description, then their onboarding, then trainings, and then over a solution, right? If this process will be follow for hiring the SOC employees or SOC members, because there would be a one SOC manager who is having a multiple years of experience, but under that 1 year or 2 year freshers are working who don't have a understanding on a SOC. So Hassan have rightly mentioned, they are only fulfilling their day in day out task, okay, by whatever the checklist they are having. They don't have the idea like on which solution, how they are working, what is the value they are getting out of that particular solution. So these things should be placed if it is on in a right way. So definitely the SOC will be built up with a better capability, and definitely the organization will get a value out of that. Apart from that, the solutions, okay, the solutions which is from so long, and they are not the organization is not having the detail about the solution. Like I'll in layman language I can say that the licensing what they have procured. So if they will manage all those licensing and other stuff, like what solution they have right now, is there any mandatory requirement to have that particular solution still in the organization. So if they will do this kind of sanitary work, so again they will get a value in term of ROI for the organization, and the value from the solution.
Thank you, Saqib. Hassan, quickly your closing notes on this point.
Yes, closing note. I would say the implementation or adding new technologies, it shouldn't be technology driven. What I mean, technology driven. Right now, we mentioned that these resources require training, require extra resource. We need maybe extra resources to be added to fulfill the new requirement, because this is technology driven. It shouldn't be technology driven. It should be objective driven. It should be strategical driven. So you should understand concepts rather than memorizing or taking certification in each specific tool and technology. This shouldn't be. It should be the other way around. You should know the concepts. You should know why you know these concepts or need these concepts, and then you can always go for AMC or maintenance agreement, or let's say SLAs with vendor provider to help you implement those tools rather than spending too much money training your people for every new technology. It shouldn't be this way. They should understand the objectives, the requirements, the regulation. They should perform proper cost-benefit analysis, proper return on investment analysis. Then you build on top of that.
Right, right. I think let's talk about some of the strategies, right, in terms of how you can manage this overwhelming requirements. Like now, are we really? We need to ask some of the questions like, are we really prepared for accelerated digitization in the next 3 to 5 years? Are we looking far enough, to understand how today's technology investments will have cybersecurity implications in the future? Now, some of the finds that I feel that that I've seen that over the next 3 to 5 years, I would see there will be a requirement of on-demand access to huge amount of data and information platforms. So it will rise over a period of time. Hackers will use AI, machine learning, and other technologies to launch increasingly sophisticated attacks. And there will be, and definitely there will be on top of it, there will be regulatory landscape that will also increase. There will be a regulatory requirement for artificial intelligence that will continue to grow. Also, there will be a continuous gap in resources, knowledge, and talent will outpace cybersecurity. So let's move into the next subject where we, how to identify how do we actually derive optimum value of the security solutions. So we'll try to hear it with Mr. Subhash first. We'll try to hear from him that, okay, we have cybersecurity products with us, but can we use this current set of solutions that I have to implement what is required? What is my objective towards it? Or rather, should I take a call? Should I actually go to do that investment that is required and put it as a part of my strategy? Okay, I need to put in more capex. I need to put in more opex to purchase that. Let's hear it from Mr. Subhash, and then we'll move towards Hassan and then Saqib finally.
Okay, I think it is totally strategically matter. I think so because product and challenges are in place there. So definitely we have to prepare or make the strategy to combat these issues. And earlier I said there are multiple things, and accordingly we can plan the things. First of all, there is a compliance, no doubt, because we are living in the digital era, and there are a lot of compliance from any organization, international, your own firm organization. It is there. And one thing I would say that is the basic objective of any organization is that we have to deliver the right data to the right receiver. That is the main I think digital transformation delivery service is there. And
in a secure manner, just to add in a secure manner.
Secure manner, right. Yes. If you can say right data to right means you have to protect secure, otherwise it cannot be right. Integrity, you can say.
Very nice.
So if your data is integrated, yes. Yeah. If integrity is there, then your data has the value, otherwise not, right. And information has the value. From there, it start the entering of this all security solutions. So definitely we have to plan our strategy. What are our priorities? Because compliance, if compliance is there, and it is not everywhere that you have to comply everything, because there are some measures issue or major things are there. We have to comply the thing. Otherwise, other thing we can do in a normal way. So we have to prioritize our, you can say, risk-based solution decision. So we have to implement the risk-based decision, and then we can plan our security device and skill set also there. And moreover that there must be collaboration all over the technology. Otherwise, every device is every technology working in silo mode, and the information from there and analytical, if requirement is there, it is very difficult to get all these things, single platform. So I think I am seeing that there must be collaboration, and just like a aggregator of security technology, it is required in future.
Right. I think a very good points. I think very key takeaways, I would say, from this event. Definitely. Mr. Hassan, would like to hear from you.
Yes. That was a really good answer. Now, technology is working in silos. Now, if you always drive things from a risk-based decision, you should always remember the cost of non-compliance. Now, in many cases, I've seen that the cost of non-compliance is actually higher than the cost of compliance, or the cost of being in compliance. For the people who doesn't know the term cost of compliance, basically, if you have a regulatory requirements, or you have expectation, or you have third-party organization monitoring you, or could be monitoring your business in the future, or could come and ask you or audit you, think of the cost that you will pay if you are in a non-compliance situation for this regulation or requirements. I'll give you example. Maybe for the people who are into the following fintech and following the crypto world, I don't know if you know what happened last week and how it was a disaster in the crypto market. For example, the biggest crypto player or exchange, Binance, CEO adhered or admitted that he committed a crime. Yeah, and he admitted that his company didn't follow all the regulations and legislation regarding combating money laundering and financial crime, etc., etc. What was the result? He destroyed the market. He paid more than almost 5 billion in fines. He stepped out from being the CEO for Binance. We don't even know what will be the consequences going forward. Is this exchange gonna survive? The same can be applied. This is a financial company, right? Whether it's a crypto, whether it's a bank, whether it's a money exchange company, like many big names that we know around us, working here in the GCC in India. All of these companies will pay huge fines, the cost of non-compliance, and could go out of business, destroy the market with them, destroy their customers because of these mistakes. So you said sharing the data in a secure way. Imagine you share the data in a bad way. Then what could happen? Imagine someone accesses your data without authorization. Imagine someone manipulated the data, which is the integrity part, then published the data. All of these are aspects to be looked at. It's not only about security solutions, security stuff. As I said, you need to understand the risk from the top. You need to understand that the risk from the strategy of the company, why we are here. Regardless of the solution, regardless of the vendor of that solution, regardless if it's Cisco, Microsoft, Checkpoint, Palo Alto, etc., etc. I don't care about all these vendors. In the end, what I'm expected to deliver here, what will be my cost of non-compliance, and what will be my cost of compliance, and build your case from there, and convince your management, convince your board of directors to give you more budget, to give you more resources, to protect the organization from the reputational damages from the cost of non-compliance.
Thank you. I think Hassan, very well point. We are just actually adding up to our key takeaways from this event. Right, Saqib, over to you.
Yeah. I will take this question, this particular slide in some technical way. Okay. Uh, Due to recent SANS Institute report of 2023, which is a general survey which SANS is doing every year. Okay. So with the help of that, that was actually very good survey. With the help of that, you can understand how you will get more value out of the solution, especially considering a SOC. Okay. So they in this year they have survey on SOAR. Okay, because right now overwhelming of a multiple solution, that means there are lots of incidents, there are lots of logs, incapability of the team, they are not able to manage. Ultimately the huge amount of incidents become a garbage, and organization is not getting a rich data to work upon that, right? So there would be a solution to improvise the actual value, getting the value from the solution, which is SOAR automation. Okay, so according to SANS, 75% of the organization across the globe, it's an average result. They are getting the solution SOAR to automate their SOC multiple solution. So automate their task alerts, and they have created a workflow. And the next level is next year they are gonna survey, because there are lots of noise around AI and ML. Okay, so AI and ML, again, it will become a need for the especially in not in all the industries, in all the processes, but especially in cyber security. If we will have AI and ML capability along with a SOAR in our SOC on the top of all of the cybersecurity solution, so definitely we will get the value of the solution from. But again, these two, AI and ML and SOAR, have a least competency in a market. There are very few resources are available, okay, to work on all these technologies. So again, it is a journey. Again, it will take another 2 to 3 year or 5 year. Okay, they will train their organization on that particular SOAR solution and the AI and ML, and definitely out of that, after that they can have the value from the solution. Okay, so I have taken this question in term of technology. Okay, so in this way we can get a more value, and we can get a optimum value of the security solution.
Right. I thank you. We heard from all of you, and I've actually taken down the pointers. So we see a 10 pointer now. Organizations should have a very good strategy in place to make the ideal decision that should we go and implement this cybersecurity solution. There should be priorities that should be identified. Okay, which solution we need to go with. There should be a risk-based decision making around it. A top management committed. There should be an analysis that should be done whether what is the cost of non-compliances versus the cost of compliance. Also, in terms of there should be, from a technology standpoint, they should see whether they can build a harmony around the security solutions by either automation on top of it with artificial intelligence and seeing aggregation of information around them. So this is the key takeaways from the event. I would suggest that Mr. Saqib, if you can just open up the forum for Q&As for all the guests who have joined this event.
Yes, definitely. So attendees, you can share your doubts, questions on our forum, so that the speakers can answer those. I think we have got one question right now. Just a second.
Yeah.
How do I identify a gap in my SOC detection and improve them? What steps should taken to improve the detection, and how to identify missing use cases to have improved the detection? This is from Tausif.
Right. Yes, I would like to take this question. I think the question I've heard it in terms of missing of events and how do I identify miss the gaps. So I would suggest that you can build your own knowledge base on this for all this kind of repetitive events and how is the response mechanism, how the teams are working on that incident to respond on it, and build your own knowledge base. So tomorrow, if you see the same event coming again, so you can work towards it in the similar manner in how you had tried to mitigate the event or the incident that you have seen. If Hassan or Subhash or Saqib would like to add more to it.
Yeah, I think you have mentioned rightly. Yeah.
I think
Mr. Subhash?
I just want to add one point only. If you have implement all security solution and your organization is there, I think there must be a third party or who can anonymous audit your security audit that can identify your gaps. I think it
Good
is.
point.
It can
It's
be.
a very
It can
fair
be.
point. It's a very
Yes.
fair point.
Yes, because everybody know that I am performing very well, and being a human, it is very you can say it should be identified by other who do the work for you. Security audit is very important for that.
It's a very fair point, Mr. Subhash. Thank you. Any more questions, Sakib, do we have?
Yeah. One more question is there, how we are rely on third party to manage our SOC? Okay, is there any mandatory compliance certification or anything that we can check and give the project? That means they're asking, like, if you are transferring a risk to third party, okay, to manage
Yeah.
our SOC, so how is there any specific compliance
Right.
regulatory certifications are there? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Hassan, would you like to take this question? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, before you answer the question, there is a critical situation here, especially when it comes to SOC. Are you allowed by the regulator, for example, to transfer or to outsource your SOC? If yes, are you allowed to transfer the data or the logs outside the company or the country in many cases? If yes, are you ready for the risk of your SOC provider being compromised? Okay, because all of these questions to be answered before you think, okay, what can I do? How can I handle my provider? What resources or skill set they have? If you are allowed by the regulator, you need to clearly communicate that and get an approval, written approval, to protect yourself in the beginning in front of your top management. Second, if you are allowed, you need to understand how the connectivity is happening. Is your data on premise and the vendor is just accessing your loggers or collectors and seeing the logs, or are you actually forwarding all of these logs using an MPLS connection or dedicated line outside the company? How those data are stored, encrypted or not, who have access to the data, to the raw logs, how long you are retaining those data, the retention, for how long you are retaining those, and are you clearly disposing the data, the raw data? And as I said, finally, in this scenario, your risk now completely shifted from your control, from under your control to someone else's control. So do you trust all of these people looking at your logs, seeing your actual data, incidents, events? They will know every single vulnerability in your organization. And if those information got leaked somehow, you could be compromised. So those are questions to be answered.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
to add to what, yeah, I think those are very good points, Hassan. Just to add to this, now, when you talk about certification that you want to see from a vendor, so some of the certifications that are there, that whether this vendor is ISO 27001 certified, right, and whether there is other certification around SOC 2 Type 2, it is the data center certified on SOC 2 Type 2. Apart from that, to protect yourself, as Hassan rightly said, right, you can include the clauses of cyber incident response, that how quickly the vendor will respond back to you in terms of business continuity, okay, whether they will support from a business continuity standpoint, and then requirements around data privacy as per the local legal requirements. Like, for example, in Bahrain, we have PDPL requirements. In India, there is a data privacy law that has been also enacted. In Saudi also now there is a PDPL law. So now we have to consider all these elements and put that as a part of your third-party service agreement to safeguard your interest. As rightly said by Hassan, first you need to identify whether the regulator is okay to outsource the data, and it's also important that, okay, where they will be hosting this data, is it a part of that whitelisted country or not? So these are some of the things that you need to really look into.
yes. Uh, right, Shams. I have come across, as a vendor, I have come across, one of the opportunity where there was some government subsidiary organization who wanted to have their SOC, and we have a solution from one of the Indian vendor what they are offering SOC as a service. Okay, but due to their regulations, okay, they don't want because their higher management and organization is not allowing them to share their data to third party. Okay, so and they want everything on premises, so that was the reason they have built up their own, they are planning to build up their own environment. So answer to this question from my side is totally depend on the higher management and the vertical in which they are following. Okay, and what regulations they are maintaining, on the basis of that they can take this decision.
Right. Sakib, do we have any more questions?
Yeah. One question from Arthi. Any suggestion for virtual CISO, as we don't have in-house, or it can affect on. I believe they wanted to have the understanding on virtual CISO. Okay, because SOC managers all report to the CISO, and they don't have, might be they don't have the CISO in their organization.
Mhm.
They might be planning for the virtual CISO. So
Yeah,
what we can, yeah.
Hassan or Subhash, whoever would like to take this point.
Now, when you say
Uh,
virtual CISO, I don't know if the question, I understand it right. Do they mean a virtual position or someone outsourced inside the company or
Outsource.
someone from outside
Outsource
the
who would
company
be,
managing the information
yeah, who
security?
would be
Because
sitting
virtual,
outside, yeah, who would be
Yeah.
sitting outside the office.
now,
Yep.
yeah, now some consulting companies do provide CISO as a service, like as a person who will come twice a week only to look at the strategies, reporting, prepare these reports for top management. However, as you mentioned, the teams on the ground will always have this lack of understanding, or they don't have someone to communicate with on a daily basis to share their concerns and take direct instruction from. Uh, it is possible, however, it should be properly managed. Without proper management, even these companies or these virtual CISOs are gonna relocate or shift positions. Then you will always have this problem of people changing faces. With too many faces, too many changing faces, you will always have this problem and gap repeating itself. As a technical guy on the ground, you don't have like a fixed person to report to.
Got it.
Maybe Subhash can add to it.
Yes, I just want to add, thinking over a virtual CISO, I think it is a good concept because everybody cannot bear the cost of regular CISO. And one thing I want to add that it will create the culture of cyber security awareness and policy making decision. So definitely, you can go for a virtual CISO. It will understand your risk, and you can communicate to each other, and you can understand your organization policy, security, and all these things. I think it is a good concept, and moreover, if it's virtual CISO in real world, he knows the vertical and diversify of securities, so he can input the better thing to anybody at least cost, because we have limited resources to run our organization.
Right.
And
Yes,
there would be a strong NDA between the organization. They wanted to
definitely.
opt this virtual CISO from the outside, from their vendor, because a single virtual CISO, the guy who can work for multiple organization, so there should be a strong agreement between the organization and the third party. One last question, Shams. The
Yeah.
question is how we can start our SOAR journey. We don't have any automation as of now in our SOC, but we are planning.
Right. I think Saqib, let's hear it from you only directly this answer.
Yeah. So to opt any solution, there would be multiple calculation, and technically, first of all, we need to have the right resources to manage their solution. Okay, so SOAR is not an easy going solution. In a SOAR you need to create a multiple workflows. So it is our planning. Okay, first of all we need to have everything over the paper, what kind of process we wanted to automate, where we are lagging in term of lack of resources, because it's basically what it will do, it will create the easiness at a admin side. It will automate the incidents. I will take an example. Over maybe on your SIM dashboard, there would be a threat hunter who incident handler who will be sit, and they will get a multiple incidents in a day. But if you will note down all those steps what he is doing day in day out for my repetitive task, and accordingly you can try to achieve with a SOAR. So this will create the value for your organization from start from first day. Okay, which will release your admin task or the incident handlers task, the repetitive incidents, and you can get a value. So the conclusion is you need to first identify where you are lagging, your resources are lagging, and then accordingly try to evaluate. There are lots of source. I believe every SIM company right now they have their own SOAR platform. Okay, so you can go with them. Yeah. So
Right. I
so
think we're good for the session. Fair questions responded. And thank you, everyone, gentlemen and the panelists. Hassan,
yeah,
sincere thank you to you, Mr. Subhash. Thanks to your inputs as well, and Saqib. Uh, I
yeah,
hope
thank you.
everyone, the attendees, had a very insightful session. And just to end it, stay safe, stay secure.